Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwanter and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the pleasure of meeting with Jim Crisera. He's president of the Task Group. Welcome, Jim.
Hi, thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
I have a question I've been meaning to ask you for a long time. Sales organizations show that they close only about 49% of their sales. Why is that? Why is that so low?
Well, I think there's probably two reasons. The first is something that actually we were able to gain out of a survey we did called the Dealmaker Index. And what we found is 40% of companies don't have a clearly defined sales process. And if you don't have a process where you're understanding what the sales process looks like and the steps required and the length of time of each sales stage, there's no way that you're going to be able to accurately predict and manage your business. And then the second thing is the forecasts are currently left up to the individual sales reps to provide their subjectivity on whether or not a deal is going to close in a given period of time. And what we're strong believers of is that you should shift more towards a behavioral-based forecast, where when you understand your sales process, you understand the steps required to go through a particular sale, and then based on the steps that you've concluded, and more importantly, the steps that you haven't completed yet, you can gain a much better picture of when that opportunity is going to close based on the history that you have as an organization on similar sales and how long it has taken them to get through those same sales steps.
Jim, is it the sales behavior or the buying behavior?
Well, I think it's both, and I think you need to map them together. So when you look at a given type of sale that you're making, the buyer is going to have certain things that they need to validate along the way, and those become part of that sales process. So they do fit together, and as you're kind of architecting what that sales process looks like, you need to do that work.
Right. So what is the relationship between the data that you have in the company and the forecast?
Well, I think a number of things, but the big one is you got to be collecting data on where they are. So in the case of forecasting in particular, that's where we would focus in on the behavior-based forecasting, so that you're looking at not necessarily what that rep talks about, but where they are in the actions that they have completed. So you're looking very closely at particularly the key steps in the sales process. So not all steps are equal, but it's really what they've done on a behavior basis, not what they are telling you as a sales rep because they want the deal to close or they're under pressure to make a quarter number. You just can't get there from here in certain situations.
If I'm a salesperson and I want to improve tomorrow, what are the three things that you would tell me I should pay attention to?
Well, in terms of what we would tell an organization is, first off, you got to be one of the 60% of the people that has a clearly defined sales process, because if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing in a given sale, it's very hard to project what it's going to happen. Should you be in there? How do you qualify that? So I think that's a big step, is you need to know a roadmap. The other thing that I think you need to do is you need to understand where you are. So I need to know what, in terms of those four key levers, what is my win rate today? What is my average sales cycle? What is my deal size? How many deals am I winning? Because then I can get in and surface with those key questions, surface the challenges that I then can work with my manager to solve. So that's key. And then the final piece is you have to have a plan. So once you kind of have your navigational foundation of where you are and where you want to go, how am I going to get there? And that's where you bring in whether it's consulting on a sales process or qualification or account planning, whatever it happens to be to solve the particular issues that you've raised, you now have a very clear path to go make that happen.
Well, thank you, Jim. For anybody who'd like to get more information, go to www.thetaskgroup.com.